Hello fungi and other species, I'm Batsy, and today we are going to take a look at an iron farm for the update 6.0. In this showcase we are going to see how the process exactly works, some of the design choices that I made for this farm, as well as how to import it into your own Minecraft world. We are going to start with the process that we are using to generate the iron, which will give a good understanding of how the farm exactly works. And as is tradition with Create, it all begins with the generation of some cobblestone. The latest update changed how cobblestone generation works, in specific with stationary drills. What it does is that if Create recognizes the generation of cobble because of the lava and the water nearby, the cobble that shall break will instead be moved to the open inventory right below, which in this case we have funnels. This of course reduces the lag significantly, and because new cobblestone immediately spawns in its place, it also increases the rates that we produce. For this setup we are using two different drills to mine the same cobble. They do actually stack, so if we are using 32 drills like in this example, we can achieve the same rates but with half the space instead. After that we are going to move all of the cobblestone and place it into some crushing wheels via the chutes below. That will process it into gravel, which we are going to move forward to the next encased fan, where it's going to get washed into flint and iron nuggets. Finally, we are going to use a basin to compact it into iron ingots and later into iron blocks. But all of this is going to require its own power to run, so I have added its own power generator. For this one we are going to use a level 4 steam engine, which is going to require a couple of steps to set up, but it's a fairly simple process. The first thing that we need is to provide the boiler with some water, and thankfully we have some waterlogged drills nearby, so that's a perfect spot to take it from. To pump set water into the boiler we are going to need some initial rotation, and that's why we have a set of water wheels. Then we are going to use a series of cauldrons to gather the lava that we need for the blaze burners. We are using the same power from the water wheels to run the pumps for the lava. Then we have a mechanical arm to move the lava buckets from the spout into the blaze burners. This setup shall allow the farm to have power indefinitely. Now that we have seen how the farm works, let's talk about some of the design choices that I made. Starting with the water wheel, which will obviously not be able to stack like this. What we did is to place two different water wheels. You cannot place it right underneath it, so you need to place them with a block between them. From there you can take a schematic of a single water wheel, place it in the middle and just print it into place, which will allow you to have 3 water wheels in a much more compact space. This is obviously not required by any means, but I think it added a lot of compactness without adding any complexity into the build. If by any means this ends up breaking from your farm, all you need to do is place the 2 water wheels, take the schematic I'm leaving in the description, place it in the middle, make sure it's in the right position, and just print it into place. That's pretty much it. We are also using this fanner to prevent the cobblestone from going further. The chutes should be enough, but sometimes they have a little bit of a delay, so it has a risk of the cobblestone just flying off. Just make sure that there is something in the filter that it's not cobblestone. I also added a lever to turn on the farm. This is directly connected to a speed controller which is powering everything, except for the steam engine of course. The reason for that is that this engine shouldn't be turned on and off constantly, otherwise you're risk running out of fuel for the blazes and it makes things more inconsistent. So this should be a more stable way of turning it on and off. The last design choice is actually a very recent thing. In fact, I had to fix this while I was recording this showcase. I had this farm running for several hours and it didn't have any issues, but during the recording of this showcase, I noticed this block became obsidian. That's because we were taking water from the waterlogged drill behind. I imagine eventually it broke the cobble generation mechanic and it turned into obsidian because of the water. And the way I'll solve this is by simply waterlogging all of those belts, and we are taking the water from those belts instead of from the drills. The setup hasn't changed a whole lot. I just added this little shaft to prevent the water, and the rest is pretty much the same. If you are curious about the thought process behind all of these farms, I usually work on them on stream. The link to the stream is in the description below. You are welcome to add any questions on why I do things a certain way, and even you can give your own suggestions too. The compact water wheel idea, for example, that was from one of my viewers. But that's enough of the babbling. Let's place this into our wall. As usual, you'll have to download the schematic and place it into your Minecraft folder. Once the schematic is uploaded and you have a place to put it, simply use the schematic cannon to build it into place. Since the latest update, bolts and tongues seem to do a whole lot better, but it's still good to check that the textures are properly connected and everything looks okay. Otherwise, just break whatever bolt doesn't look connected and place it back until the textures look proper. Once that's fixed, we can start by placing the water on the outside drills. This part can get a bit more tricky, so I recommend placing the last water from this angle. We also need to waterlock this leaf. If you don't have leaves, you can just place whatever leaf you can, or just place water on this spot. Next, we need to place the lava and to make sure there is cobblestone to prevent the water from breaking the lava into obsidian. Once this one's filled, we come down here to fill up the lava for the cauldrons. The angle can be a bit tricky, but just place it from above the glass. The last piece of water that we need is for the tank, so we need to waterlock this exact belt and then this exact belt. This should spread the water into the middle one and it should power up the steam engine. And the second we waterlock all of the drills, it should already start moving the water wheels. And that should be all of it's required to start this section. The only thing that we need to wait is for the lava to start generating. I recommend placing at least a couple of buckets so we have a bit of buffer. Though to keep in mind, if you place more than 2 buckets, the mechanical art won't be able to output the empty buckets. Once that happens, the steam engine might take a second to power up, but once that's done, it should be able to run indefinitely. If you have struggles that these cauldrons are not generating enough lava, just expand the platform a little bit and add a few more of them. But from this point, you should be able to simply turn on the farm and it should be able to produce iron from the get-go. Of course, if there is anything that is not working properly or if you need help with anything, you are welcome to join my Discord. I have a help section. I try to be active there and help whenever I can. But this will be it for this video. I hope the fungus enjoyed it and I hope the build is going to be useful for your walls. Hopefully my voice wasn't too hard to understand. I know that at some points of the video, especially towards the end, my voice starts to have a lot less quality. I just want to clarify that's not the issue with the microphone or the setup, that's just my voice. If I get more stressed or I get more anxious, I struggle to vocalize and I struggle to properly use my vocal cords. I spend many hours recording dialogues and I know some of them are still not very good, but I hope the quality is good enough to understand it. But thank you so much for watching, and if you want to support the channel, maybe consider leaving a like and a comment. It really helps a lot. Thank you so much, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye bye!